Welcome everyone. Thanks for staying with us. You're watching PlainSpeak with me, Shivani Gupta. The Tamil Nadu government versus the Governor Rao has escalated to full-blown crass politics. Posters targeting the governor and asking him to get out trended today after DMK and supporting allies demanded that Governor R.N. Ravi should be recalled or ousted. Earlier, the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Stalin even moved a resolution against the governor in the assembly. Obviously, no resolution or state government pressure can take away the powers of the office of the governor. The governor is the direct appointee of the president. Even courts cannot take back the appointment of a governor. The governor is also very clearly an agent of the central government. There is no doubt about that. So when the Stalin government is up in arms against the governor being acting as an agent, quote-unquote, of the central government, is that not a redundant fight or a moot point? The state government doesn't really need to like the state governor or agree with her. But the governor is also only a nominal head with no real powers. The real powers are in fact vested with the chief minister and the council of ministers. In that sense, both, even if holding differing views, have to work together and respect each other. But the latest episode in Tamil Nadu is a firm reminder of the ideological war currently underway in the state, where Dravidian politics versus national politics are colliding. Is the governor crossing the line by not reading out, for example, the state government mandated speech in the assembly? Or is the state government jittery in handling a governor who's not towing their line blindly and is instead challenging their worldview? We take that question to our guests in just a bit. First, take a look at how the row between the governor and the state government really escalated. So it all started where the governor in a speech said that Tamizhagam suits the state better as a name than the current Tamil Nadu. He even went on to term Dravidian politics as regressive, something of course that the DMK hit back against. The governor then went on to skip certain parts of a written speech at the start of the assembly session, especially parts referring to Dravidian model. The chief minister then, while the governor was present in the assembly, moved a resolution to remove the quote unprepared remarks made by him, and only the mandated prepared speech should be kept on record. The governor walked out even as the chief minister was speaking, even before the national anthem was played, effectively signalling that the program is over. That row got even bigger when the governor issued an invite for a program from his office. Take a look at an old invite before this row and the new one that has been issued now. The new one doesn't have the state emblem, that is replaced by the union government emblem. Furthermore, the previous invite said Tamil Nadu governor, while the new invite refers to the governor as the governor of Tamizhagam. So no surprise, this has infuriated the DMK and the allies even more. So the governor office going ahead with his chosen preferred name for the state emblem which is there on that one is also replaced by the central government emblem, and Tamil Nadu is replaced by Tamizhagam. These posters asking the governor to get out, targeting the governor, then started trending online. Some of them surfaced in Chennai as well. The DMK making no two bones about the fact that they do not want R.N. Ravi to continue. These posters have come out which clearly ask for the governor to get out, and of course this turned out to be a hashtag promoted on social media as well. So the big question we ask today is, which of the side is erring here? Is the governor crossing the line, or is the government jittery in the face of a challenge?
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம்.
There is a difference between the central government and the state government. You are there to stand by the central government.
இந்தியாவிலே நம்பர் 1 முதலமைச்சர் என்றால் நம்முடைய தலைவர் அவர்கள் தான். அவருக்கு நீங்கள் எல்லாம் இளைஞர்கள் எல்லாம் நீங்கள் துணை நிற்க வேண்டும், உங்களுடைய ஆதரவை கொடுக்க வேண்டும் என்று கேட்டுக்கொண்டு
let's go across to the guests who are joining us. Narayan Tirupati is Vice President BJP Tamil Nadu. Syed Hafiz is DMK spokesperson. Suman Siraman, political analyst, S. Muralidharan, political analyst, and I'm also joined by C.B. Pandey, who served as a former legal advisor to Governor of Uttar Pradesh. He's also former justice. So let me, in fact, go across to C.B. Pandey first up, because the big question that all of us are wondering about is, has the governor crossed the line when not reading out the prepared draft of the speech given to him by the state government? Is that not mandated for the governor to do, or does he have discretion even here? Uttar Pradesh is also former justice.
You can't say that he has crossed the border, he has violated any constitutional provision.
Okay.
In fact, there is no such provision in the constitution where he is required to read the government statement before a house, and that should be whatever the state government has written. There is no constitutional provision. It is simply a tradition which is followed in democracy in India, because we have adopted the democracy system of a British system. And in British system, this is prevalent. Therefore, in India also, we adopted that system, and it is as a customary, it's a tradition which they follow. So you can't say that he has acted against the constitution. But at the same time, if the tradition are there, so my point of view, that governor, being the executive head of the state, should follow the traditions also, because after all, he is acting as a head of the state, not as an opposition leader or something beyond what the government. So therefore, whatever the government say, he should follow it. Yes.
Okay. What do you also make, Mr. Pandey, of the fact that as far as his invite is concerned, the governor's office invite is concerned, the state emblem is no longer there, the union government emblem has been put, and even the name of the state, which he very publicly expressed the fact that Tamizhagam is a better name for Tamil Nadu and not the current name, even Tamil Nadu has been replaced by his chosen or more preferred name for the state. Do you believe that this is also in some ways needless confrontation with the current government of the state?
Definitely it is a confrontation, because in the constitutional first schedule, the name of the state of Tamil Nadu is mentioned as a state Tamil Nadu, as a Tamil Nadu. So now, so long that in the constitution, Tamil Nadu has been mentioned. So he is the governor of state of Tamil Nadu. So therefore, he can't say that some other, as a governor in the official capacity, he can't say that he is not a governor and some other name which is not a constitutional name, and he should be known by that. He is known by that name as the governor of that state. So I think it's definitely against the provision of the constitution. And secondly, he is the head of a state. He is the head of the Tamil Nadu state. Therefore, he is bound by emblem used by that state. He can't use the emblem of central government. Whenever he will act in an official capacity, he should abide by the constitutional provision, which says that he is the governor of the state of Tamil Nadu.
Yeah. Yes. Let me then bring in, I think we're just fixing a link with Narayan Tirupati, but S. Muralidharan, political analyst, is also with us. Given what, an expert is saying, he's obviously former justice, he's served as a legal advisor to a governor formerly. Is this not needless confrontation by Governor R.N. Ravi? You may have a point of view. He expressed that point of view when he talked about Tamil Nadu versus Tamizhagam. He may even have a point of view on what Dravidian politics is doing to the state and whether it's good or bad. But, to change the name of the state, that's crossing a line.
No, Shivani, I will not agree with on that. Tamizhagam is a word which been used widely. It is not something new. Tamil Nadu or Tamizhagam. Tamizhagam is probably the short form or the colloquial form of Tamil Nadu. In fact, if you go back in the freebies issued by the DMK government, especially the televisions and the mixie, grinder, whatever, you will always see it as Tamizhagam. It's Tamizhagam and the government, it's a gift from the Tamizhagam government. Okay. So this has been in, it's been in use. There's nothing wrong in it. I don't see anything wrong. But this friction is because of the sequence of events, what happened yesterday. See, when he started delivering the speech, first of all, he was delivering the speech in Tamil. I'm sure everyone should have felt, happy about it and proud that, the governor who's come all the way from Bihar is speaking Tamil now. So I think they should have respected that, but they did not do that. The fringe elements of TMK, the alliance, they tried to heckle him.
Yeah.
They literally interrupted him. That is actually a violation of the code of conduct in a governor's address. One. Second is, after that, he has clarified today that certain portions, certain words in that written statement were not acceptable to him because it gives sort of a secessionist or separatist kind of idea. So he said, I'm not going to use this, and he had clarified it. So the government said that, no, it's already gone for publishing. So when you speak, you can always change it and speak. But I think they expected this, so they had this resolution in hand. Because to pass a resolution, they needed only some 8 minutes. So it was looking like, everything was pre-planned by the DMK just to target the governor. And I think whatever reaction we see today is in line with that. So
yeah, I think the reaction that has come vis-a-vis the posters, I'm going to come to that in just a bit, because that is certainly unsavory for a party in power. But let me go across to Syed Hafiz, who's the DMK spokesperson. First, when the governor starts making his speech, even before you realize that he has skipped out certain parts of the speech, there are DMK, representatives, members of assembly who are heckling him. Then even as the governor is inside the assembly, the CM gets up and, moves a resolution against him. So you also did whatever you could do to humiliate him. And then you object to him walking off. Now, I could understand that you want him to get out because you did not register your protest in the assembly. You did what you wanted to do in the assembly. Then you have no moral high ground to ask who should get out or not.
Coming to the question, madam, I will tell you it is not the members of the DMK who had raised slogans against the governor when he was speaking. It is the alliance party of the DMK. So
but
DMK
sir, you are the power. You must take responsibility for that. They are your alliance partners.
Yes, they were alliance partners, and it is not new. BJP has done that in Shimla when governor was speaking. When governor was Urmila Singh was delivering her address, BJP had done this. This is a democratic process where legislators from all parties have done this in the past. So you cannot claim only DMK has done that or BJP has done that. So it is two different things. The protest against the governor's speech initially was not for his speech, but for his address outside the assembly calling Tamil Nadu as Tamizhagam. So don't mix both of this.
No, I'm not mixing. I'm very much categorically saying that he hadn't even omitted certain parts of the speech. Even before that, he was heckled. But is that the right thing to do? Now, you have heckled him. You have moved a resolution against him. You've done what you wanted to do to show your opposition. You've also been as curt and as abrasive. So then what are you cribbing about?
Who initiated this? Who failed the convention? Who did not follow the convention?
Which convention are you talking about? Which convention?
Convention about skipping the pages, skipping the pages.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Even before he skipped anything, you had already heckled him. You had already attacked him after his Tamizhagam remark. You called him an agent of the BJP and the RSS. You said he should go and do what he's doing from the BJP headquarters. You say everything you want to say, yet you want to act like you are not being abrasive.
I will tell you that the protest initially before the speech was what about his comments outside the assembly.
But that's what I'm saying. So what convention did he break when you were heckling him? What convention?
I'm telling you, it has happened in the past. There are very many government speeches where the opposition.
No, you said the governor started this. What are you talking about? Where did this start? This started when he talked about Tamizhagam being a better name versus Tamil Nadu. You could say that several bills are pending with him. That's also your skirmish with him. Leave that aside. But
that is also a part of
what
it.
He said outside the assembly, you shouldn't be reacting in such a manner that nobody can express their view.
Madam, that you should be asking to the spokesperson of the BCK of the Congress. I am here.
So you condemn the heckling? You condemn the heckling of the governor?
It is not heckling, madam. It is a democratic process which has happened in the past. BJP has done that too.
Okay.
Now coming to the point, madam. Political parties are here to do politics. Governor is not here to do politics. Okay, he cannot choose to omit and add his view. Everybody
No, but I just had a legal advisor. One second. I just had an expert, a former judge on the show who said the governor has the power to omit certain portions. It's not as if he has broken any constitutional law.
He cannot add. Madam, whatever he reads, it is not governor's wish. It is the policy of the government of the day. Okay, he is just a nominee who cannot decide what this government has to do.
He is not deciding that, but he is uncomfortable with certain portions. He omitted that. And as one of our panelists said, he did inform the government that I'm uncomfortable with these portions.
That is a fake news, madam. I will tell you. On 7th, he has signed and agreed to come and deliver the speech which has been drafted.
The same speech, the one that you had on record. Okay.
Yes, we have.
I think Sumansi Raman also wants to come in. Sumansi Raman, it is clear that both sides, one second, both sides clearly don't like each other. There's a history of the statements that have been made by the governor that irk the Dravidian party in power, DMK. There's also a history of bills not getting assent on time. But there is also a grey area there. There is no time limit in which the governor has to send back the bill. Governors can hold the bill as well. But leave that aside. My question is that both sides are being abrasive, right? You look at the posters today. That's also not really in keeping the prestige of the governor's office.
So the governor should act in a way that is that the prestige of his office is not sullied. Unfortunately, this governor does not seem to have acted in that manner. My sympathies are with the government. I think that they've been pushed to the wall. They've been frustrated. Their bills are not getting approved. They are not getting rejected either. And, what do you want them to do? So I think that, look, what happened in the assembly yesterday, there are two very clear issues here. The speech is the speech of the government. It is not the governor's address. It is called the address by the governor, but it is actually a statement made by the state government. So whatever the democratically elected government gives to the governor, as long as it is not violative of the constitution, he should read it out. It is not his personal view. He is not articulating his opinion here. He could speak that out. I have no problem with him saying whatever he wants to in the various functions that he attends. But this is inside the assembly. This is a convention that has to be followed. And look, at the end of the day, walking out before the national anthem is played, I don't think it sort of fits in with the high office of the governor.
Yeah, but on that issue, Suman, can I come in on that issue? You can argue that the governor also couldn't really handle the situation very well. But did the chief minister handle it very well by moving a resolution against the governor right there and at that time? Didn't they compel him to just to go away?
The proper response to that would have been that the governor was in the chair, speaker was not in the chair. So whatever resolution the chief minister moved then had no legal sanctity. He only said, and if I remember right, he said that he proposes to move a resolution.
Yeah, proposes. So, no, but why do that? You are doing that knowing that this resolution is not going to happen only to humiliate him.
No. If look, whatever it is, if he felt humiliated, he could have left after the national anthem and communicated that humiliation to the government.
So you are saying he should sit there and take the humiliation, even if the government is humiliating him, but not leave beforehand. But the government should go ahead and humiliate the governor.
No, it's not about humiliation. He violated the protocol first. So the government violated, if the chief minister violated the protocol, he did so after the governor had violated the protocol.
So that's exactly my point. Both of them did what they did. Then nobody has a moral high ground. Now the government could have said that, listen, we tolerated it and we behaved in a manner that was not that was becoming of the state government. But they also did what they wanted to do.
Started this fight? Who started this problem in the assembly yesterday? Look, the opposition parties in many fora have the right to raise slogans and they have the right to walk out. Yes, I think the allies should not have raised slogans for 10 minutes. They should have raised slogans for a minute or 2 minutes and then walked out because they were proposing to walk out, planning to walk out anyway. But my point is the governor clearly, and look, what was objectionable in the text? I can understand if there was something which was violative of the constitution. The governor said, look, I can't read out this. Absolutely fine. But what was violated? They are speaking about
Can I bring in the BJP representative on this? Because the AIA, DMK and the BJP in some senses have been supporting the governor and his moves. Is it not wrong on the part of the governor, Mr. Tirupati, what he did yesterday? He's being deliberately abrasive to the state government. While the governor's office needs to be respected, you have to understand that the actual representative of the public and its wishes and the powers rest with the Chief Minister and his Council of Ministers. There's no point fighting with that power as a governor.
He is not at all wrong yesterday. He has done his duty. He has done what he is expected to do. And he has the right to omit or avoid any lines from the speech that was given to him.
But he seems to be omitting stuff he doesn't like at a personal level, not really something that has any legal or constitutional argument against it.
There is no compulsion that he should read it. No law says that he should read it, right? We need to understand this. He has got he may have so many reasons to avoid that. He has got that right. After all, he is reading that. You should understand. So he will definitely avoid whatever is not true mentioned in that. And we don't know. It is not our job to investigate into this. But we need to understand whatever the wrong has been done only by the Chief Minister and the DMK people. The Tamil Nadu legislative laws very, very clearly says that if at all, if any of the member obstructs or intervenes during the course of the governor's address or before the course of the governor's address or after the governor's address, if any member obstructs or intervenes, that member should be punished. He should be taken action. He should be punished for his action by the speaker. I am demanding that the speaker should punish the DMK members. My friend DMK spokesperson said there were no DMK members, but there were DMK members who were shouting, and the DMK allies, the assembly members. And lastly, after the speech of the address of the governor, it was the Chief Minister, Mr. M.K. Stalin, who tried to interrupt, who tried to disturb the governor. So he should be punished. Action should be taken against him. So the entire media is asking questions against the governor and asking questions against the BJP. No one dared to ask the DMK as to why Mr. M.K. Stalin, the Chief Minister, went unconstitutional yesterday. It was done by them only, and definitely
I think both sides could have handled it a little bit better, but let the DMK representative respond to what you're saying, that fundamentally it's you who didn't act as you should have.
Madam, it started with the governor's address. If he had read what was given by us, by the government of the day, then there was no need for my leader to pass a resolution. Politics is politics, madam. We have accused Governor Ravi of doing this. It is very apparent today that a very
they have the right to insult the governor. He says he has got the right to humiliate the governor as a politician. No two horns are there for a politician. What is this? It is an assembly, and the discipline and the decency should have been maintained.
Government, that is an absolute violation of the law and the constitution. That is absolute violation of the law and the constitution, madam. This is really, really disturbing. There is no precedent. You have to have a constitutional amendment to call it Tamizhagam. What more is obvious than what Aluna Ravi is doing? That is sheer politics.
You are mixing two issues. One second. What he does outside of the assembly is one issue. But what transpired inside the assembly is completely another issue. And I think we've had enough experts now elucidate the fact that while the convention is you'll read out the speech by the government, the governor is not mandated by the constitution or by the law to do so. We've got an expert saying that very clearly. I'll bring him again. But I want to ask you, Mr. Syed Hafiz, the question about how the government is responding to the governor's ideas and statements at large. Now, this is outside the assembly. I'm not discussing what happened inside the assembly. He talks about Tamizhagam versus Tamil Nadu. You've got DMK people coming out and say, oh, you are a BJP RSS agent. Why don't you go to BJP headquarters? This transpires inside the assembly, or he sends an invite, as wrong as you may deem it to be. You run trends about #GetOut. What kind of politics is this? You can't just go back Modi, get out Ravi, as if you are some separate domain. You have to fight with people and debate with people. You cannot just say, oh, we don't want you here. Aisa nahi chalta hai. This doesn't work like that.
Madam, we don't have a problem with political parties doing politics. Understand that. BJP is there to do politics. Alunar Ravi is not here for politics.
But in the past, you have said go back Modi also for the Prime Minister. Why?
That is a part of politics. How many hashtags? Go back Rahul Gandhi, go back Stalin.
Who has said that? I don't remember trends being run on this. But every time you had the Home Minister or the PM go to Tamil Nadu, you will have these trends. Is this good politics?
It is part of politics, madam. It is part of politics to demonstrate, to protest. Okay, if we use anything unconstitutional, you always have a problem. Discuss with us, put case on us. We don't have a problem. The point again here is simple. The Governor Ravi here is to do politics, which is not good for the office which he is holding.
Okay.
Today, it is a blatant violation of the constitution by not calling himself a Tamil Nadu governor and not inviting people under Rajbhavan Tamil Nadu, but Tamizhagam Alunar.
Okay. Can I bring in Suman Raman once again, and I'll go to Mr. Muralidharan also. Suman Raman, do you sense that the DMK government is a little bit uncomfortable, jittery, or unnerved in handling a governor who has a point of his own? It's almost a childish fight that you can't say this. If you say this, you are so-and-so's agent. The man is voicing, for example, his opinion about Tamizhagam versus Tamil Nadu. They could have argued against the idea and debated instead of, slandering him or labeling him.
See, most, or I would say many, if not almost all the opposition group states are having problems with governors, whether it is West Bengal or, whether the Lieutenant Governor in Delhi
or Kerala.
And almost Kerala, everywhere there are issues where opposition parties are part. Now, this is very unfortunate because, look, the role of the governor is to help in the overall governance, not to impede it or function as a kind of a block for governance. I have no problem with what Mr. Ravi says in his speeches and his private functions. I think the DMK is probably overreacting to some of the stuff
that was my limited point.
But that is not the point. The point, Shivani, is that the governor is actually blocking governance. If he feels that, and how is he doing that? By using a loophole in the law. Similarly, the loophole that there is no law which mandates that he should read every line or every word of the state government speech. And there is a convention which has been followed for the vast majority of
okay. I have limited time, so let me give Mr. Muralidharan.
Last point, Shivani. I think you are incorrect when you say that the AIA-DMK and the BJP are backing the governor. The AIA-DMK is distancing itself. The BJP is the only party which is backing the governor in Tamil Nadu today. And I believe that they are making a mistake because very simply they are giving ground to the DMK to say that, look, we told you so, that the governor is functioning as an agent of the BJP, and see, the only party that is defending him in Tamil Nadu today is the BJP.
Okay. I'll come to the whole agent of the central government thing, because as I understand, the governor is indeed meant to be an agent of the central government. So what are we doing? What is the hullabaloo about, frankly? It's always been the case where before BJP was in power. It's going to be the case after BJP is not in power too. But Mr. S. Muralidharan, my question to you is this. It doesn't serve either side, and certainly doesn't serve the governor to be standoffish with the state government. The state government is not going anywhere. That's the elected government. What do you see as the future of these two parties?
Yes, it is. See, the governor is being a little arrogant. You can definitely say that because, yes, he's sitting on certain bills, etc. But is this the way to solve the issue, confronting him? I don't think so. If Mr. Karunanidhi would have been alive, I don't think Mr. Karunanidhi would do anything such as this, because you heckle him, you insult him, and you expect him to, mellow down. I don't think so. That's how he is reacting today. Okay. And I was appalled to see Mr. Sumant Raman in lighter vein saying that, he should have walked out after the national. How many times we have seen Mr. Sumant Raman walking out of TV programs.
Okay, let's not get personal. Can I get 1 second? Let's not get personal. CB Pandey, I have only 30 seconds left. 1 second, sir. I have only 30 seconds left. CB Pandey, please. Mr. Pandey, as I understand, it is quite clear that the governor is indeed the agent of the central government. So in that regard, when state governments are up in arms that, oh, you're an agent of the central government today is the BJP, is that an argument against a governor?
The governor is no doubt he is the agent of the central government because he is appointed by the central government. But at the same time, governor is bound by oath. And his oath is he will protect, defend the constitution. Under his oath, he says that he is a protector, defender of the constitution. So therefore, unless he acts against the constitution, he cannot be castigated.
Yeah.
But so far, to some extent, if he is doing some politics or to some extent, he is protecting the interest of the central government. So I don't think to that extent he can do it, and they are doing it. It's not
exactly.
The first
So
case.
is it becoming a trend now in non-BJP ruled states that state governments are also blowing their fights out of proportion with governors purely to make a point against the central government? I have to leave it at that. Let's see how this goes. A big thanks to all of our guests for joining us. On the other side, don't go anywhere. An exclusive conversation with author Sanjeev Sanyal on his new book, Revolutionaries, the Other Story of How India Won Its Freedom. A book that talks of the armed struggle that won us our independence too, along with the non-violent movement. Just who diminished the role of these fighters from history books? That and more coming up.